He's right behind me, isn't he? This is Deutschland, home of cars, Lidl, extremely efficient trains that aren't actually very efficient, and the autistic German stare, a signature of every German, along with socks and sandals, drinking beer in the morning, and loving punctuality. Here in the Mediterranean, they are known as the locusts that arrive in groups and hoard sunbeds. Obviously, they are endemic to Germany, the big boss of Europe. Did you know that it's actually a federal republic, like the United States of Albania, which means that they actually have states with their own government. They are very imaginatively called lands, and there are 16 of them, 17 if you count Mallorca, but we don't count it because Germans there are considered an invasive species. So 16 states, 13 of them are area states and 3 are city states. Let's briefly summarize them. Bavaria is the largest one. The most well-known German stereotypes come from this particular state. And the national... Now what's weird about this is that Bavarians are barely even German, at least according to them, because if you ask a Bavarian where he's from, he will say Bavaria. They kinda don't like Germany and vice versa. Apparently there's quite a lot of Bavarians who support independence, but it feels a lot like Catalonia's case. Basically, think of when you were a child and you threatened your parents that you would leave. Then suddenly you're 30 and still live with them. Baden-Württemberg, known for its natural beauty and their completely unintelligible dialect that might as well be a different language. Also, Porsche and Benz are based in Stuttgart. Rhineland-Palatin. The wine region of Germany. Makes sense, they're quite close to France. The oldest city in the whole of Germany is located here, birthplace of Mr. Seize the Means of Production. Now to the smallest state in Germany, Alabama. This region was contested between France and Germany for like a long time, just out of spite as there's not much of importance here. Hey, at least they got a cool looping river. Now to Hessen, home to Frankfurt, the real-life night city. Also home to those guys that wrote those popular German fairy tales. North Rhine-Westphalia, made up of the north of the Rhine and the west of Phalia. This state has the largest population in the whole of Germany and the largest GDP. A lot of big cities are found here, like Dortmund, Duisburg, Düsseldorf, and that's just the D's.
These nuts.
Poland! Oh no, sorry. It's Thuringia. They got the highest density of castles in this bish. The highest amount of castles is in Rhineland-Palatinate, in case you're wondering. Additionally, in the city of Weimar, the Weimar Constitution was written, starting a very interesting period for Germany to say the least. The 3 Saxonies. Yes, this is probably where the Saxons came from. Saxony is quite notorious for, just like my pee-pee, leaning quite to the right. It houses 2 of East Germany's biggest cities. Dresden, that city that got a bit bombarded during the Second World War, and Leipzig, home to the Bundesliga's favorite team. Saxony-Anhalt is like proper
Deutsche Demokratische Republik
territory. Rural, filled with industrial ruins, and extremely atheist, despite being the birthplace of Protestant Christianity. Last of the Saxons is Lower Saxony. It's like lower than Saxony. It's like really flat and boring. Brandenburg, named after the famous Brandenburg Gate. Actually, it's the other way. Shut up, I know. Brandenburg means fire castle or fire fortress, which is a fire name for a not so fire place. Hey, at least it's got the good Frankfurt. Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, the Baltic Sea coast. This is where the Nord Stream pipe connected Germany with Russia. But we don't talk about that anymore. People here are old and senile, they don't remember shit. Schleswig-Holstein, part of the Jutland Peninsula, it's the little hat of Germany. Also the flag, I think it's missing a star in the middle. Now to the city-states, Hamburg, Germany's port city. Many think that the hamburger came from here, but actually they make hamburgers with fish here. I bet it tastes great though. German food is quite underrated in my opinion. On to Bremen. Now Bremen is a bit rough. Highest unemployment in the country and the highest amount of people living in poverty. It's got a cute little ex-slave. This port here. Lastly, Berlin. The capital. The sheer antithesis to anything German. Berlin is not a city, it's a condition. It's dirty, dingy and full of characters that came here to discover themselves. Its nickname Athens of the Spree River is quite fitting. Neoclassical buildings surrounded by trash and graffiti is the most Athenian thing ever. Ironically though, multicultural Berlin is a microcosm of Germany at large. I'm sure all of you have seen this image. It shows the difference of lighting between the Soviet-occupied East Berlin and the Western-occupied West Berlin, running perfectly among what was the Berlin Wall. While we can't see a difference in lighting between former East and West Germany, a lot of statistical maps that look just like every European map ever tell us that Germany, 30 years after reunification, still has deep-rooted societal divisions. No, not that one. Income. The West is generally more affluent than the East. Religion. Germany's South and West are Catholic, its North is Protestant, while the East has abandoned God and vice versa. Now here's a map of the recent elections. The West overwhelmingly voted for the CDU. Thus the party's leader, Friedrich Merz, became the new Chancellor. Chancellor is basically kinda like the Prime Minister. Now let's hope he isn't as bad as his predecessor, the Iron Lady. The cuckolder SPD party dropped from 1st to 3rd, followed by the Tree Fuckers and a party called The Left, least on the nose German name. Fun fact, it's apparently a successor of the East German Communist Party. But oh, what's this? Second, AfD. Do East Germans take cranial measurements to all 5 foreigners that live there? Many people are quite worried that the far-right party won this many votes. Its rumored ties to Russia also don't help. Last time a far-right party was in charge in Germany, you know, things happened. But I wouldn't be so worried, guys. Just look at the party's leader. This lady here is a lesbian. Married to a Sri Lankan. Oh, and she doesn't even live in Germany, she lives in Switzerland. What is this woke nonsense? I thought the AfD liked traditional family values. Okay, all joking aside, calling East Germans racist or backwater, I think is kinda missing the point. Eastern states have generally been lagging behind their Western counterparts. A lot blame this on the flawed reunification process, and I guess this is a way to show the government they feel overlooked. I'm not saying they're right, although to be honest, the reunification felt more like the West absorbing the East. Whatever though, when the national team plays, these differences become obsolete. The country becomes one. I mean the basketball national team. The football team is not getting out of the hood. It's safe to say that the 20th century was quite eventful for Germany. We had the fall of the German Empire, the interwar Weimar Republic, the guys that were salty about the fall of the German Empire, division, then reunification. The day of reunification is the national holiday of Germany, and not the day of the creation of the German Empire, during which the militaristic nation of Prussia united Germany for the first time. I assume this is because modern-day Germany wants to disassociate with its weak colonial game. Before the German Empire, there was the Holy Roman Empire, a clusterfuck that lasted for way too long. Let me tell you something about the HRE. It was not holy, because Pope Leo III's appointment of Charlemagne as the Emperor of the Romans led to the schism. It was not Roman, as quite clearly, Rome is not here. And it was not an empire. It was made up of hundreds of kingdoms, duchies, principalities, etc., to which the Emperor had little control over. This decentralized system could be the root of modern-day German federalism. The Holy Roman Empire completely dissolved during the Napoleonic Wars. It was then known as the Holy Roman Empire of the German nation. You know, I just realized I haven't told you why Germany is called Germany. It goes back to the Roman days, the actual Roman days, not the Holy Roman days. The Germans were quite a nuisance to the Romans, so they named the land north of the Rhine Germania, because they were like the germs they couldn't get rid of. Nah, I'm just kidding, we actually don't know what Germany means. We do know though that Deutschland means land of the people in German. Speaking of German, I have a few complaints. Can you like invent new words instead of combining like 3 of them and calling it a new word? How am I supposed to say this? Imagine being drunk and trying to say this, you start speaking Dutch by mistake. And don't even get me started on German articles. Der, die, das, den, dem, des. How about the? And be done with it. Also sometimes there's a verb at the end of the sentence which is a bit confusing. Other times verbs get a little prefix which can be separated from the verb and straight up leave. Yeah, it's my fault for trying to learn German, but guys, it's destiny's calling. I like this letter though, that looks like a B but it's a double S. It makes a S sound. S though makes a Z sound and Z makes a Z sound. What a beautiful language.
Einfach erlaubt, dass ich Cola trinken darf.